Hello and welcome to UCB One Spotlight Sessions. I'm Bex. It's great to have your company as we welcome Drakeford.
Are you feeling heavy? Do you have a weight on your back that's too hard to carry, that renders you still in your tracks? Well, tell me, are you hurting? Do you have a burden like a chain on your neck? Well, let me tell you something. You don't have to live like that. No one soul could never make it alone. But if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And when your world starts to crumble, you don't have to run. 'Cause if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And have you been rejected? I promise I've been there too. I know how it affects you in every single thing that you do. Well, are you brokenhearted, feeling disregarded, like you got nothing left? Well, let me tell you something. You don't have to live like that. No one soul could never make it alone. But if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And when your world starts to crumble, you don't have to run. 'Cause if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And when you're down, when you're caught out in the rain, when you're not feeling so strong, there and then, no matter when, there is a hand that you can always count on. And take my word, when it hurts so bad and you're not sure what to do, it doesn't have to be up to you. No, 'cause one soul could never make it alone. But if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one. And when your world starts to crumble, you don't have to run. 'Cause if we all stand together, then we're stronger than one.
It is Drakeford with Stronger Than One for UCB One Spotlight Sessions. Welcome, Drakeford and Lucy. You guys have been together, well, you've been making music for 15 years and funnily enough, been together that long as well. But, okay, Drakeford, you are from the States.
Yes.
Lucy, you are from the UK.
I am, yeah.
But you didn't meet in either of those places.
No.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't.
Okay. How did Turkey end up factoring in that?
Goodness. Oh, man. So I joined a missions agency called Operation Mobilization with the idea that I was going to go live on a ship for a year as a gap year. And then the ship it had too many Americans, and they were like, we can't take any more Americans. So I got sent somewhere else for my gap year. I ended up in Turkey. And then very shortly after I ended up in Turkey, you joined a short-term team, right?
Yes, I joined a short-term team. I was still living in England, and the team based in Turkey were going to Kyrgyzstan for like a short-term 2-week trip. And I joined them on that trip to Kyrgyzstan. And that's actually where we first met. So it was the team, did, it was like a creative arts ministry team. And we do street performing. And so that's where we first met. We became friends, kept in touch, but I thought I'd never see him again. Like he was living in Turkey, I was in England. And then actually a year later, God then called me very, very clearly to move to Turkey as well and join the same team. So a year after I joined the team in Turkey, then we got permission to start dating.
We did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And the rest is history. Now, happily married.
Yes.
You lived in England for a bit, now living in the US, and have recently added to your family as well.
Yes, we have.
Lots of change happening.
Lots of change, yes. We've got 2 young boys now. One is 4 and the other is 8 months. So
The 8-month-old is around here somewhere,
He
probably
is.
screaming at his grandmother.
hopefully he's happy at the moment.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, over 15 years, you've seen the music grow and change, and that's often been like a reflection of the music that you write. Is it that the things are happening and you write the songs, or is it you write the songs and then it's like, oh, that kind of mirrored exactly what was going to happen in our lives.
That's so interesting. It's actually a bit of both.
It is, I would say exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it, like, for instance, in the song we're about to play, we knew that it was happening, this massive change, and so we wrote the song about it. But sometimes we'll write a song just as like people go through these things, and then we end up going through the very thing that we wrote about for other people. It's like, whoa.
There's been a couple of instances where it kind of felt like it was almost prophetic in a way for us.
Yeah.
That you'd write a song and then maybe a year later we went through that exact scenario, you know. And it was like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, as you say, the next song that you're singing is Change, so take it away.
Thank you.
I'm not ready to say goodbye, but I know that it's time to move on. 'Cause I'll never dig deep, I'll never grow high in the place that I used to belong. So whether or not I see all the ways that my life will unfold, I'll cling to the rock that steadies my heart and the one I've been given to hold. And even the mountains will crumble when the rivers decide where to run. Yeah, change is what breaks us, and change is what makes us the ones that we're meant to become. So as much as I'd like to stay in the comfort of where I call home, if I remain where I am, then I won't understand all the ways that I could have grown. And just like the flowers that open when the valleys are kissed by the sun, yeah, change is what breaks us, and change is what makes us the ones that we're meant to become. Searching comes treasure and diamonds from pressure. There's meaning in labor, beauty from pain, and there's grief in surrender. But it helps to remember we can't find our purpose by staying the same. So why would I stay the same? When change is what breaks us, and change is what makes us the ones that we're meant to become. Yeah, change is what saves us, and change is what makes us the ones that we're meant to become.
It is Drakeford on Spotlight Sessions. It's lovely to have you guys. And you were just sharing a little bit about your writing process. And I mean, you guys are very busy. As you mentioned, you've got 2 young boys. You also decided to, hey, you know what? Let's just throw in a renovation and some health problems and it'll all be fine. Except it wasn't, which actually led to your next song, Writing on the Wall.
Yeah.
Can you just share a little bit of that journey?
Yeah. Oh, man. It's a lot. How far back do we take it? I think beginning around 2017, we started to slip into what I think we look back in hindsight as like a dark night of the soul, where God wasn't absent, but it really felt like it sometimes, and his direction wasn't really clear and forefront, which is really difficult. Then you add in the kids and global pandemic and all of those things. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but and health problems, and we bought our house, which was a massive gift, but required a lot more of us than we expected or we had to offer. And it kind of reached a pinnacle in 2023 where we had started building a studio in our backyard because our house is tiny, tiny. Mm-hmm. And there's just no shot of doing music in a tiny, tiny house with 2 children. So we had this building, but we kept running out of money to finish it. So it just was this empty shed. I had a light bulb in it. That was as far as I got. And when we first built the building, we had written Bible verses all over the walls because that's what you do when you do something like that and you're a Christian. But fast forward to 2023, and I had reached my breaking point. Our 4-year-old needed a massive surgery that I had no idea how we'd pay for. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we couldn't travel. So Lucy was incredibly homesick. We didn't get to come and see her family. And just in general, we were struggling quite a bit. And I remember I went out to the studio. I flicked the light on. It was like a bajillion degrees because it was the fall in southeastern U.S. So I'm sweating and I'm just screaming at God, where have you been? We're here trying to follow you and make the most of being in Nashville and being musicians. And you've just been absent. My wife is unhappy. My child is unhealthy. And I just ranted at the Lord for a while. And I got up to leave to walk back in the studio. It was late at night. And my eye caught a verse by the door on the way out that was just a Bible verse that I picked because it had to do with the building. It was Psalm 127. It said, "Unless the Lord builds a house, the builders labor in vain." And I remember being set off by that verse because I was like, has all of this been for nothing? Am I just making this happen and not following you? So anyway, I stormed back in the house, and in my full Southern passive aggressiveness, I grabbed a Bible and I sat down on my couch and I flipped the Bible open and I slapped a finger down and I said, "Are you going to speak to me now, Lord?" And my finger landed on Psalm 127, verse 1. "Unless the Lord builds a house, the builders labor in vain." And I thought to myself, that is, there's just no chance that that's a coincidence. So I kept reading, and from Psalm 127 to Psalm 131, I just felt like everything that I had just poured my heart out to the Lord about was immediately answered. And I know that Psalms weren't written for me way back then, but I really felt seen and heard for the first time since 2017 in a really personal and intimate way. So the second verse, I think it's verse 3 and 4, right after the first verse that I wrote on the studs, was a verse that said, "Early you rise and late you work, toiling for food to eat, when God grants rest to those that he loves." And it just hit me like a brick to the chest. Because I had multiple jobs. Lucy had multiple jobs. We were trying to figure out childcare, and we're passing kids back and forth, and we were waking up early and working late, taking shifts after the kids go down just to make ends meet. And there was no rest, no respite. So to hear that from the Lord is things really need to change. And that instance in the studio, how would I say this? I would say that moment in the studio is what began the journey of trusting the Lord in a way that we hadn't in a long time, which brought about a season of springtime spiritually and literally, and it was just wonderful. So we wrote this song to kind of lead into that.
Oh, it's an absolutely beautiful song. It is Drakeford, "Writing on the Wall."
Bought our house in 21 before we welcomed our first son. Had no way of knowing then there was so much to be done. Underskilled and over budget, it was fun until it wasn't. There was dry paint on our skin and Bible verses on the studs. I wish I could go back to tell myself that it's about to get much harder. It's the high before the fall. What a tragedy I didn't see. Then fast forward to the autumn. We made plans and then forgot 'em. Had no way of knowing then I was headed for rock bottom. Started living in a hurry, second jobs and major surgeries. I know you could see it all, every way that I was hurting, and your silence broke my heart. That's when I came apart, and I was screaming like a vagrant, like David in the Psalms, trying to hold it all together, but that never worked at all. And it was in my own handwriting, but I missed that wake-up call. What a tragedy, I didn't see the writing on the wall. Oh, yeah. And late one evening on a really dry spell, I called you out and started giving you hell. And there in the middle of a one-way fight, I caught a verse out of the corner of my eye that said, early you rise, you work until late, and if God isn't in it, then it's all in vain. And that hurt, 'cause nothing I did was enough. But you give rest to the ones you love. And it's right there in the sheetrock, buried underneath it all. Oh, my writing on the wall.
It is Drakeford as part of UCB One's Spotlight Sessions. It's such a powerful song. It always gets me, though, that moment that God knew the words that you needed to hear in the right moment. But I love as well how in touch you are with nature. I mean, I know, Drakeford, you have an obsession with trees.
I do.
I love that you want people to know why this wood does this, and particularly making guitars as well. Mm-hmm. Can you just kind of share how that's kind of developed over the last couple of years, where people are following you going, dude, how do I get one of these guitars?
Man. Well, it's kind of crazy. So I've always been a tree nerd, and I've always loved music, and I started doing a little bit of woodworking in 2015. So I've had interest in some things to do with wood and guitar and woodworking for a while, but it wasn't until last summer we were over here visiting Lucy's family, and we also set the goal of releasing a song every month that year. And I'm not great at social media, and I feel the burden of constantly tasking people with things like, go and listen to us, go and pre-save, share this with your friends, like and follow and subscribe. And so while we were here, we were at a National Trust just walking around one day, and I'm spouting off tree facts because I genuinely just love trees, and I pick up weird facts.
Ever since I've been with Drake, we've known each other for many, many years now. Whenever we go out and there are lovely trees around, he is always pointing to them and telling me all about them, and like, oh, this is that, and that does that. And I remember last year I said to you, didn't I? I was like, you know what? Other people might find this interesting. Like, you should just start this little tree series, on Instagram and whatever. And yeah.
So we did. I was like, this will be our offering to our followers that does not ask anything of them. It's just a here's some facts about trees. If you like it, cool. And we posted it to Instagram and to TikTok. And on Instagram, it did exactly what we wanted it to. Our followers were like, oh, nice break from music. Like, really cool. Find this fascinating. And on TikTok, it popped off. And suddenly, overnight, we had like 4 times the amount of followers just to learn about trees. And so we got back to the States after last summer, and I was like, maybe we should just keep making these videos. So the whole year I've been making videos on an account called Trees with Drake, and we've been doing our other social media over here. And our music social media has never been incredible. We update stuff and we keep in touch with our people. But the TikTok with the trees is just exploding, and it's just growing and growing. So that's how I spend some of my time these days.
It's a fun little side project, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
And it is fascinating. Like I was sitting there just going, wow, I didn't know that. So you are doing a service there as well. But I love as well, the next song that we've got is Cicada, which as an Australian, I know what that sound is like. And Americans will know what that's like. But for a Brit, you're like, what?
oh my word. Yeah, the first time that I heard cicadas, which would have been in 2024, was it? I'd never heard them before, and I was just mind blown. It was so loud.
So how would you describe it to your fellow Brits?
I mean, like you've described it before, it sounds like you turn on like a razor or something, and it's just like, meh. Like that's the only way I can describe it.
But when one sets off, all trillion of them set off.
They all do.
It's just like an all-permeating shrill, shriek. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just scream, and it's wonderful. And
But when there was the 13, or there's the 7-year brood, the 13-year, and I think the 17-year. And so when they all come out, it's just like billions of them. And so I remember in Nashville when that happened, recording studios shut down because it was just so loud they couldn't record things. And
even the best, like most purpose-built recording studios had to close, like double doors, 3 levels of insulation, and the cicadas would still scream through it.
But it was a lot of people, it was a really hard little like few weeks, but it was really like important for you and encouraging.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It felt like these bugs were popping up out the ground and shedding their skin and becoming something new and just shouting for joy. And I felt the exact same way, because for the first time in 7 years, I felt like I had been seen and heard, and that there was a shot for me to like get in stride with the Lord. And so when they were screeching, I was singing along, man. Their song became my song. So that's what we wrote Cicada about.
It's an amazing song. This is Drakeford with Cicada.
When I look at the earth below my feet, I'm grateful that I'm here right now. I thought this garden was a grave for me, until you reached into the ground. And now I feel that morning sunlight pouring through the trees, and the man I was became an empty shell. In a moment's time I heard your kindness screaming out to me. That cicada song is mine as well. For years my hope was buried in the deep. My faith was at a bitter end. But when a seed falls to the ground and dies, turns out that's where new life begins. And now I feel that morning sunlight pouring through the trees, and the man I was became an empty shell. In a moment's time I heard your kindness screaming out to me. That cicada song is mine as well. 7 years of silence, God, I thought maybe you forgot the promises you made. You know I couldn't make a sound while I was still underground, but that was yesterday. And now I feel that morning sunlight pouring through the trees, and the man I was became an empty shell. In a moment's time I heard your kindness screaming out to me. that cicada song is mine as well.
And it's Cicada. You are listening and watching UCB One Spotlight Sessions with Drakeford. Now, you just mentioned, of course, 7 years where you really struggled, which actually came a couple of years after you were offered a record label, you were offered a deal.
Yeah.
It all seemed all wonderful and fantastic, but actually you decided to walk away at that point. But what was it that made you go, no, actually, it's more important that I be independent?
Yeah, it's, that was back in 2017, I guess.
Yeah, 2017.
And when we were kind of faced with this decision, we actually went away for a couple of days to a beautiful cabin in the woods just to pray and ask God for his direction, because it was a massive life decision. We could go this way and our lives would look completely different. But, just praying about it and asking God what his will for us was, we just really felt like we were on the right path just to stay independent, to be able to share the exact stories that we wanted to share the songs, to dig deep, to ask questions, to be truly authentic to what we were going through. And so we have no regrets.
No, it has been harder for sure.
Yes, it was the harder decision.
Yeah.
But I will say as well, like the label that we were talking to are still some of our dear friends, and they've been so supportive and yeah, they're kind of like, I don't know, our father in Nashville, like this.
Yeah, our Nashville dad.
Nashville dad. But yeah, it's just really supportive and encouraging. And I do believe that we made the right decision. Harder at times for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are times like when we went through that hard time with our faith and just asking God where he is, like to be able to write those songs with those deep questions, with the doubts and just saying, I don't know where you are. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure we could have done that if we had a label behind us.
Yeah. To be positive and encouraging would have been really disingenuous at that moment. And I'm really grateful that we had the ability to really sit in the melancholy, because God is there too. And finding him in that season instead of on a mountaintop was life-changing. So, yeah.
That's quite amazing. Now, we are going to go into your final song in just a minute, Cast Your Cares. But what's been amazing is over the last couple of years, there's been a real interest in raw, authentic, real music. As you say, music that tells it like it is, that isn't like, oh, everything's great, everything's fantastic, you'll never have a problem in your life. What advice would you have for someone who's watching this that's just starting on that journey, that's starting to write their own music, that's wanting to stay independent, but are looking, going, how do I get to where they are?
Buckle up, because it's a bumpy ride. Practically speaking, I'd say just put music out. Write the songs that you're living, and then share them with people. If it means playing them in coffee shops or sharing them with your friends through voice notes or releasing them, just getting it out there is the fastest way that you're going to find your voice. And when I say your voice, I don't mean the thing that you want to sound like. I mean the thing that emanates from you when you just exist in a room, the thing that people see and perceive. Because finding your voice in that true sense lets people feel like they're not alone, because we are all people and we go through the same stuff. And yeah, that's what I would encourage people with. Do you have anything different?
Honestly, I think I would say the exact same thing. That was great. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'll let you finish with your final song, Cast Your Cares. It's such a beautiful, beautiful tune. And I feel like it encapsulates somewhat of what you've been through in the last 7 years.
Yeah, we wrote this. I wrote this song to myself, and I never intended to show it to people, because this was just for me, reminding myself of something. And Lucy heard me singing it one day, and she was like, we need to put this out.
We have to record it and put it out, because I think other people can see themselves in it too and relate. And we all need reminding to cast our cares on Jesus. So, yeah.
Well, it is the final song. Thank you so much for hanging out. This is Drakeford with Cast Your Cares.
I can't save you from the darkness that surrounds you. I can't lead you through the night. I can't free you from the past that lies behind you. I can't make your burdens light. So cast your cares on Jesus. He makes all things new. Cast your cares on Jesus, because He cares for you. You can't pull yourself away from those addictions. You don't have that kind of strength. Flesh and blood is not enough to resurrect you. Human hands weren't built to save. So cast your cares on Jesus. He makes all things new. Cast your cares on Jesus, because He cares for you. So won't you look to the mountain where your help comes from, when you're standing in the valley of the mess that you've become? You are welcome at His table. Doesn't matter what you've done, 'cause His mercy is unending and His grace is still enough. So won't you look to the mountain where your help comes from, when you're standing in the valley of the mess that you've become? You can stand before the Father through His resurrected Son, for His mercy is unending and His grace is still enough. Cast your cares on Jesus. He makes all things new. Cast your cares on Jesus, because He cares for you. Because He cares for you.